we're probably due for like a revolution or something. It's so bad that Republicans are sharing Democratic tips. It's actually kind of bringing us together because I think we all just hate the elites so much. And the quote unquote elites, really the occult and the ball worshippers. And I'm clearly not a Democrat. I'm actually not even a Republican. Also, I feel strongly that they probably will keep gaslighting us, at least if the Epstein file situation is any indication, because we have been so aggressively gaslit over the last 6 months that sometimes we forget how audacious and how absurd and how positively traumatizing the manner in which our government just routinely lies to us actually is. Regarding the Epstein files, we should probably be in the streets revolting. We're probably due for like a revolution or something. It's so bad that Republicans are sharing Democratic tips. It's actually kind of bringing us together because I think we all just hate the elites so much. And the quote unquote elites, really the occult and the ball worshippers. And I'm clearly not a Democrat. I'm actually not even a Republican. I retired from politics today. They took out Charlie Kirk and lied to us about it. But this Democratic representative, Jared Moskowitz, did a really good job recapping exactly what the Trump administration put us through with the Epstein files, gaslighting his own supporters after insisting that day one, they were going to give us access, they were going to tell us the truth, they were going to be the most transparent administration ever, holding up the binders. Take it away, Jared Moskowitz.
The most transparent administration in American history. Before Trump, we didn't know the word transparency, apparently. It's been 12 months since you gave Republican influencers part one of the Epstein files. You said the list was on your desk. Then a memo came out and said that there was no list. Phase two of the binders never happened. The President of the United States says the Epstein thing is a hoax. He blasts his own base for wanting the release of the files. He blamed Barack Obama. Republicans voted against the release of the files in the Rules Committee. Then they refused to even return to the Rules Committee until they could be protected from future votes on the release. Speaker Johnson sends Congress home a day early before break. They sent the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Maxwell. She says something favorable about the president. Miraculously, she gets transferred to a minimum security facility. No one can explain why. Miraculously, the leaks to the Wall Street Journal stop. We come back from break. We have the Massey discharge petition. Republicans drop a rule, a non-binding resolution trying to kill the Massey discharge petition. The White House says passing the Massey discharge petition is a hostile act. Trying to stop the necessary 218 signatures, according to Republican members that signed it, the White House brought them into the Situation Room, the place where the president goes for time of war, promising things like appropriations or maybe even to primary them. People in the room say you were there. It didn't work. We get the 218 signatures. We eventually passed the Massey petition. You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress, every member of the House except one, and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files. Kash Patel under oath said to Senator Kennedy, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. We know now that's not true. According to documents, Epstein had a worldwide sex trafficking ring. Girls from Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Paris, modeling agencies sending him girls. He even had a relationship with a summer camp where he groomed girls at a picnic table. Ghislaine Maxwell says 29 Epstein associates cut secret DOJ deals. Turns out there is a list. 6 names readily available if you unredact them. Co-conspirators named, but we got them when you unredact them. Maxwell recently tells a House Oversight Committee that she wants clemency to release more names. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James. Trump's name also appears more times in the Epstein file than Harry Potter's name appears in the 7 books about Harry Potter. Lutnick says that in 2008, he went to Epstein's home, says he had a massage table in the living room, that Epstein said he got one every day, that it was the right type of massage. He and his wife decide to leave and say they'll never be in a room with him again. Howard then says, I'm sure the Epstein stuff is all on video. He was the greatest blackmailer of all time. Well, how would Howard know that? But now the files are public, and in 2012, we find out that he and his family are on Epstein Island after Epstein pled guilty to state charges. I'm from Florida. I take my family to Disney World, not to Epstein Island. There are documents in the files that dispute the president's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his club. Allegedly, the president said that he asked Epstein to leave. Supported now, that's disputed though, statements from the manager of the club. Now, Madam Attorney General, I have like 25 seconds left. So because I'm curious, and I'd like to see you flip to the Jared Moskowitz section of the binder. I'm interested to see what staff provided on the oppo on me, and because we're in the Olympics, I'm gonna give it a grade. I just wanna see how good it is. So give me your best one.
So first of all, nothing is funny about mocking the Bible and holding up a Trump Bible. That's what you did. You made a joke, and I find offense to that. That's all I have to say.
I want it from the burn book.
Shame.
I want it from the burn book. Which is the best one? What you got?
That's all she had to say to him. Shame. Shame. Shame on you for telling the truth about what we have put the public through, what we have put our supporters through, the people that believed in us, who wanted to get to the answers, who, took us to this line because we wanted to see how power works. Instead, we're protecting people that are in the files. Howard Lutnick's practically running Trump's administration. Bibi Netanyahu, Howard Lutnick's all over the world with Jared Kushner. He's just been protecting his homies, and she's got shame on you because you didn't. He did not mock the Bible in any way. That's what she's got.
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't,
bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way
This goes over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion.
Yeah, she's got a little bit more too, by the way, because I guess she thought this was going to work. And I actually appreciate this next response from Pam Bondi, her perspective on it, because I think it's honest. I appreciate it because it's honest. Take a listen.
They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million, and Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
It's simply amazing. It's as amazing as Mikey McCoy, right? She's just out there like, what? Let them have cake. Like, what is wrong with you guys? Okay. We're guilty. Guilty as charged. Yeah, Epstein's trafficking. It's a whole network. Everyone at the top is kind of a monster. Yeah, they've been trafficking children, harming children. There's all this Baal worship.
The video clip you're watching is titled Romance of a People, Baby Sacrificed to Idol Molech. This event occurred at the Chicago's World Fair in 1933. It was a Jewish historical pageant in which over 150,000 Jews were present and participated in this demonic ceremony. The baby sacrifice scene is explicitly described in archive records. This is the Getty's catalog entry, which explicitly describes a false idol Moloch, a priest holding wrapped up baby aloft for sacrifice. He throws baby into statue, and you can hear Cass screaming. The 1948ers is a reenactment of Moloch child sacrifice scene as part of the pageant. Whether someone later attempts to label this as theatrical or stage does not change what was publicly performed. I want to be clear, staging the rite is still practicing the rite. Let's go to an actually rabbinical source to see if it confirms that Judaism allows the worship and sacrificing to Molech. The Talmud Sanhedrin 64a, it says, Mishnah, he who gives of his seed to Molech incurs no punishment unless he delivers it to Molech and causes it to pass through the fire. If he gave it to Molech but did not cause it to pass through the fire, or the reverse, he incurs no penalty unless he does both. Gemara. The Mishnah teaches idolatry and giving to Molech. Rabbi Abin said, our Mishnah is in accordance with the view that Molech worship is not idolatry. For it has been taught, if one causes his seed to pass through the fire, whether to Molech or to any other idol, he is liable to death. Rabbi Eleazar, son of Rabbi Simeon, said, if to Molech he is liable, if to another idol, he is not. What the Mishnah is doing in the passage that states, he who gives of his seed to Molech incurs no punishment unless he delivers it to Molech and causes it to pass through the fire. It reads almost like a fence-straddling, technical legal riddle. The language is procedural, defining the specific conditions under which punishment applies rather than simply denouncing the practice. That framing gives validity to the practice of Molech worship. My key point is this. The Mishnah is part of the Talmud, and the Talmud is a foundational component of Judaism as a modern religion. It is not separate from Judaism. It represents modern rabbinic Jewish law and tradition. Therefore, when examining such passages, we are examining religious doctrine within Judaism itself. It is also important to state that Judaism, as defined by the rabbinic system centered on the Mishnah and Talmud, is not the ancient practice of the ancient Israelites. The religion known today as Judaism developed in its rabbinic form centuries after. The biblical period. The ancient Israelites operated under the covenantal structure recorded in the Torah and the prophets, not under the later rabbinic framework codified in the Talmud. Zionism, by contrast, is a modern political movement that emerged in the late 19th and 20th centuries. It is not identical to Judaism as a religion, but the Mishnah and Talmud are religious texts belonging to Judaism. So, when we read legal discussions about Molech in the Mishnah, we are reading material from within the religious system of Judaism, a later rabbinic development, not from the ancient Israelite covenantal practice described in Scripture.
Epstein's bank account was called Baal, the ancient Canaanite deity which people had sacrificed their children to. A victim's diary shows that she was impregnated multiple times and forced to give birth for Ghislaine and Epstein. Israel is mentioned twice as much as Donald Trump in the new documents. Here he is discussing with Roger Schank, a Jewish-American academic and hedge fund worker, saying Jews create vast fortunes by manipulating markets and creating financial speculation and exploiting labor. He says, let the Goyim deal in the real world. In a discussion with the Rothschild family, Epstein says if they overthrew the Ukrainian government, there would be great opportunities. The Rothschild family paid Epstein $25 million for certain algorithms. While talking to Peggy Seigel, August 7th of 2010, she asks if an event is going to be 100% Jewish. He says no, they'll have goyim in abundance. But don't worry, they're just brilliant wasps from JP Morgan. Joshua Finkelstein, BlackRock's Larry Finkelstein's son, is accused of not having any respect for non-Jews, seeing them as not human. This is from his ex-girlfriend, Svetlana. He pressures her to have an abortion. In 2017, Epstein has a conversation talking about if you want to hire the best people, you have to hire only Jews. Only hire those who can prove they are genetically Jewish. Maria Farmer, one of the first victims to come out and name Epstein.
I wasn't allowed to go get food. And when I called Ghislaine and asked why I couldn't eat there, she said, it's a Jewish country club. You're not Jewish. They're not going to serve you. They, honest to God, think their DNA is better than everybody else's.
Said that their operation was motivated by Jewish supremacy.
Flames rise in Tehran as a horned figure burns in the heart of revolution rallies. Why were statues of the ancient deity Baal set alight across Iran? From biblical symbolism to modern conspiracy theories, this fiery spectacle is about far more than history. Iranian state-organized rallies marking the anniversary of Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution took an unusual turn this week as demonstrators in several cities set fire to large statues depicting a horned, bull-headed figure identified by organizers as Baal, an ancient deity referenced in biblical and Islamic tradition. According to Iranian media, the coordinated burnings were framed as a symbolic protest against what organizers described as moral corruption in the West. Some of the events were reported to have taken place simultaneously in different cities. Images circulated online showed a towering bull-headed effigy engulfed in flames in Tehran's Azadi Square. In some instances, the displays included additional imagery, such as the number 666, and references to US President Donald Trump.
We're referring to you guys as goyim and increasing your taxes, making things more dangerous, stealing from you effectively. Money has gone missing. But have you checked your 401ks? Guys, gas is down 10 cents a gallon. Why do you care if we're harming children on islands? Why do you care so much? Are you good? That's what we should be talking about here. Gas. No? You can get petrol now, and it's like, 10 cents cheaper than it was during the Obama era. What's wrong with you guys? How much more do you need to be distracted so that we can go on worshiping Satan? I just don't understand. Please, let's talk about the Dow. Incredible. That's where we're at right now, guys. Up is down, down is up. Like I said, we are pretty much due for a revolution. I guess the empire, what's supposed to be every 250 years before it crashes and burns. It seems like we're doing that. I recommend you pull your children out of these schools. Very clear that they are everywhere, and they are a cult of military. They are dangerous people. You don't want to deal with psychopaths that have this sort of a conscience when you're talking about harming children, that they genuinely, she does not compute why they don't care about Dow. She doesn't even compute it. She's like, what do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Yeah, you don't want to hand your kids over to people like that.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10.